Hello and welcome to a Build with Bear bonus stream. That's right, it's a Wednesday night, and you do know what that means. It's time to play a video game of some sort. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can apply with those emotes. If you're not a subscriber, you can just say hi. Also, you don't have to say anything at all. It's cool. But let me know who's here, who's hanging out, who's ready for a night of power washing via simulation. If that's you, then say something in chat. Also, again, you don't have to. Um, let's see. We've got Mr. Hadel saying Power Wash Wednesdays, and Glenn says, surprise, this is still early access. Yeah, the most recent update was the 0.5, so it looks pretty much like they're on the move here. They're on the way. Sim power washing is much more fun than cleaning up the mess you made mowing the lawn, says Sin. What's up, Sin? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, lawn care in real life is bad. Now, also cleaning up for all the extra water that's sprayed all over the place in real life power washing isn't fun. And realizing, oh no, I just really gunked up the this driveway. I just put some weird layers in this driveway because I was power washing too hard. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. But that isn't the case here in Power Wash Simulator because it's a simulator and we're playing it in a video game and it's cool. I mean, there's a challenge mode, so I guess, it could be worse, but we don't have to worry about that here in the game, which we'll be playing. We're going to wait, see if a few more friends want to join us before we get into there. I do want to go and check an option here because I want to see if I can. Yes, there is a musical slider, which you can now turn down, which you couldn't before, because there is one level in the game that we will be entering, which starts with an incredibly loud song that I don't want to hear as loud as it is. Um, we're going to work on a carousel, and the music that you can turn off is very loud, and it starts before it finishes loading. So I want to turn that down in the game because I think that'll be good for everybody. Um, been playing more of Euro and American Truck Sim than this lately. Yeah, so I'll start off saying here, if you're unfamiliar with Power Washing Simulator, Power Wash Simulator, I should say, um, it is a video game where you use a power washer and you clean stuff. Um, it is in early access. It has had lots of updates as they've added levels. And this batch runs the gamut from, ooh, that's interesting, to, I don't want to do that one again. And we're going to go into the one that I definitely don't want to do again. We'll look at it. So I haven't finished all of the new updated available levels, but I've done some of all of them. So we can look at the ones I've completed, and we can also look at the ones that I'm not done with yet, and kind of take a look at that. We'll do both those things, and we'll just kind of check to see where they're at. Let's see, if I go to gameplay here, I'm in the audio settings here, and I just turned down the music to make my life easier. Let's see, controls, I think, are all going to be good. I messed with any controls here. I think everything's looking pretty good there. Yeah, general stuff. Kind of crosshair dirt details. Dirt detail, dynamic. I think that's good. I think all this is going to be good. American Truck Sim just got Wyoming. Ooh. If they just release Montana, I can do my drive to Yellowstone. That's fun, Sin. I like that. That would be cool. But yeah, we're here in Power Wash Simulator. Um, uh, I'll say this. Hey, they should put another special in here, right? Now, they did add a vehicle that probably should be in special because it is weird in a way that is, I think, Mars rover, which we'll look at that. Similar. There's a challenge mode, which I have touched none of because I do not care about time. This is about the somewhat therapeutic nature of doing this. So I'm mostly going to free play or career mode. And free play just lets us pick vehicles and locations that we've done before. And you can see there's a lot in this game. Um, uh, Cleaning the mayor's mansion is a new location that I've completed. I have also completed a new vehicle, which, as I said, to me should probably be in special. Let us power wash a DeLorean that just came back from the past. I like that, Lord Crash did. But we can clean the drill. So I'm going to tweet. I'm going to retweet my tweet, see if we can get a few more friends to join us, and then we're going to start with cleaning this drill, and I'll show you that. Just retweet my tweet, and we'll go back to that. And yeah, so we're going to start with the drill, which I've already done before. Holy moly, the drill, which is a good name. Oh boy, if we could clean drill. He is filthy. You're not wrong. That loaded fast. So I'm in free play mode, which means I can just use this. I'm going to turn down my microphone. If it's too loud for y'all, let me know. Hey, the T, welcome. If the in game is too loud, let me know. If the water's too loud, I'll go for that. Oh yeah, a foam cannon. Yes. Did you get the sniper extension? I did get the long extension. Let's look at our inventory here. Um, the long extension, we got that there. Sounds good. Apparently there was competitive PowerWash Simulator going on at PAX. Oh, I like that, Ravenous. That sounds neat. Yeah, so I've got the long extension. Oh, I should equip, because I haven't used it since in free play. I have the extra long extension, which isn't really necessary for this, but will be good when we go check out the Mayor's Mansion. So yeah, I'm using the best power washer. Uh, hey, let me ask you, Lord Crashington, I know you've been playing this. Do you know how to? Okay, I know clothing. I think I bought a loadout to change this, and I don't know how to. I thought I had. Oh, there we go. Never mind. I found it. Never mind. I bought this extension. That sounds good for the treehouse in the woods. Yes. I found. Okay, great. So I bought this because it kind of looked like Iron Man colors. So I modded my power washer. Which seems silly, but I did. Um, so yeah, I'm just using the spray because it's free in free play mode, where it costs money in the regular mode. So we can just refill. As you can see down there, there is the infinity symbol down in the bottom left corner. My camera, my face here is hiding the little thing that lets you know if you're super crouched or just regularly crouched or standing straight up. But we really don't need that for this. I haven't started it since the update came out, so you're on your own for when things are now been trucking too much. Though that's great, location. I did figure it out. I couldn't figure it out before, and I don't know if I'll be able to figure it out again. But I did. I did get this. So yeah, this is the new vehicle in this most recent update, and we can get on top of it and clean it up. This took a long time to clean, which is fine, because it was very dirty. Because it has particles of some sort on it, some sort of spaced age particles. Yeah, when I did this in the all of these new ones take a little while. A totally normal vehicle. Yes, a totally normal vehicle indeed. Um, so this is the new vehicle, which I like a lot. And I said, I gotta get that. Get out of here. Get out of here. Trophy. Um, yeah, this wouldn't take too long to do. Um, one of the new levels I don't like at all, and then one of them I think is pretty neat, and one of them is pretty good. So we got a nice little mix. Uh, Back from the center of the earth. Yes, totally. One would assume just doing some mining. But there's some stuff on here that does not want to come up unless you use. I like using this for stuff like that. This brush is good for getting up real bad gunk. Um, but yeah, this is. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. This one's just like kind of cool looking. I like the vibe of it. We'll just spray it down. We'll try to. We're not going to do the whole thing of this. I want to give you just a kind of overview of this one, but we'll get some of it done, and I'll do the rest later, probably in free play. It's a lot easier when you don't have to worry about the cost. To just also, there's a limit to how many liquid of these like soaps you can buy, which is good. They didn't used to always do that, but then people ran out of money. So. They eventually put that in, which I think is a good idea. In career mode, I should say. Free play mode, you can just use it continuously, which is good because it's free play mode. And of course, you have to finish, not defeat. You have to finish a build or a level or a vehicle um, in um, in career mode to be able to use it in free play mode, which obviously I think makes sense. So yeah, all right, we did 38. Well, we'll get up in here. We'll get some more of it done, and then we'll go check out another level. All right, let's and you can see you hit escape here. It's going to say I've only done 12% of the wheels, um, and I've done 98% of the rear door. And then when you only get down to a few left, it'll pop up on screen to let you know what you haven't done yet. So we can go back to free play, and we can go to locations in free play, and we can see the complete this one, which is I will say this: I think my least favorite location in the game so far. Uh, it's not that it's challenging; it's actually it's annoying. I would say. So this is the mayor's mansion. So you're looking, okay. So we gotta wash the gate, which has been heavily vandalized and graffitied. We gotta wash the gate. We gotta wash all the bricks, and then we'll go into the house and wash it. No, you can't get into the house. So you have to power wash it from a distance. So you have to go in like basically this level does not work if you don't have very good gear. Like the earlier gear is just not going to cut it. So you need like extensive gear in order to be washing it. And like that's not fun to me. This isn't fun. I have to like hide between the bars to wash back here because there's no other way to get there. That's not fun to me. Like you can't climb over this fence. Uh, uh, what situation would you be doing this in? Like you're a reverse vandal. Well, you're look, you're it's hey, look, we live in a capitalist society, and the mayor isn't going to clean his own house that's been vandalized, so he hires somebody to come with their equipment to get rid of this vandalism. Uh, do I like it? No. Am I doing it as part of my job to unlock other areas? Yes. I do like this little spaceship. That's pretty cute. I like that. I think that's kind of cute. He give you a key to the gate. Totally. Uh, what's the what's that double spray nozzle? Oh, so you can get so this is the one. It's vibrates. It's not a double spray. It looks like a double spray. It's a spinner. You have to buy it, and you can buy it for each one. And it's totally worth the money because it's really good at getting rid of grime, especially from a distance. Because the red it's very powerful, but it's very small. So you have to kind of really this one you can kind of cheat over the area because it's very strong about it, but you have to buy it. It's extra. I probably don't have to do that much to buy all the new nozzles and extensions. Yeah. So yeah, this is the purchasable item in your upgrades in your store. There you go. See, I can clean this window pretty fast from back here, but I shouldn't have to do this, and I think it's a poor design choice. I think this level is bad. It's not hard to do because even with like the equipment I have right now, I can clean graffiti. When you first starting off, you can't clean graffiti without a chemical spray, the soap, or using like the red extension. And now I can clean graffiti with green, the second weakest. So that's very good. Makes life a lot easier because I have played this game a lot and unlock and had the money to unlock some gear. Uh, that has been very helpful. And you get that nice ding when you finish something, which is nice. But yeah, this is to me anyway the worst level I've played. So we're not going to stick around that. Instead, we're going to go back to the main menu, back to career mode, I am 76% done with the carousel and 19% done with the temple. And we're going to go to the temple because the temple is neat. Now, since this is the career mode, I have to worry about my budget. Um, that ding is one of the best completion noises around. It's totally great. And also, a thing that's going to happen is there are going to be pop ups, which are text messages. Now, apparently, in this recent update, they have put in more lore, being more text messages from your clients. Um, and so those are going to show up more often. So we'll see those. They don't mean anything, and you can just ignore them. Um, I think the only really good one is when you clean a children's like house, like it's like a school theater for kids. That's a big shoe. Um, uh, at some point, whoever has like a kid takes that phone and is just sending you weird messages, and I think that's great. Um, it's weird that you only get them every 20%. Yeah, I mean, okay, so a thing I like about this, we're going to this like monastery here, is that we have to walk a ways to get there, and I think that's just a fun touch. But I've done some of this, as you can see, but we'll see what we can do. I always like to do this with the easiest, the widest spray, because you get what you can with that, because it doesn't take a long time. We'll probably get a text from this. But yeah, they've kind of increased the amount of text you'll get. And if I went back to old ones in career mode, I guess I would get those. But there. So yeah, we're just gonna clean now. That's this. I mean, this is the video game. It is a power washer, and like yeah, you need ladders and um, if you haven't seen the game, the physics are real, kind of very helpful. I would classify them as helpful physics because you don't get hurt when you fall. There's no damage. You can hop and jump pretty far and get where you need. It's pretty great. There it is. What's going on with these ladders? There. No, there we go. Oh, there we go. Put that there. Now I can. Whoops. Now I can climb up, get over, and do the top of that in a little bit. So we'll just go up here. Oops. Just do this and clean the top of this off here. Oh, fell. And then it's here. We hit 20%, and now I'm getting a text. Uh, and we're hearing some story about the people that live here, and I don't care. I like the elaborate environmental around the house and such you need to clean. Yeah. I like a lot of the people that are just like, hey, the people that lived here left, and it's gross. That's most of the stories are like, hey, things got gross here. Can you help? Climbing these ladders in some environments are not as good as others. Okay, so we clean the top of that now. We can just kind of hit the top of this. It'll be nice and easy. Also, if I want to take this ladder that I just used, I can grab it and then put it somewhere else if I want to do that. But we don't need to worry about that. Let's just go to the top of this. Um, if you get motion sickness, I apologize. I don't get motion sickness from video games. So I will probably be moving around a lot in a way that could bum you out. Hey, our handyman clogged the toilet and left. Please help. Jeff Gerson. Yes. If you haven't been following the saga of Jeff moving into his new house, somebody who was working for someone left a surprise, which is awful. Awful. So yeah, so we're just cleaning some stuff. We're just gonna get things nice and clean. I'm probably gonna jump around because jumping around, the one thing I get here is sometimes you're like, okay, there's a lot of detail left in this one spot, and I can't quite clean all of it. And instead of getting frustrated, I just move on to another location, and then I'll come back to it. Because as you hover over, you can see how much is left, or at least percentage, and you get an idea of what else you need to do here. So we at least know that. We get the frames and the windows, and we get that nice, lovely sound letting you know you did good. But yeah, I kind of just like hit it where it needs to be hit. How does a handyman not know how to unclog a toilet? Well, Glenn, I gotta say, Most likely, it is one of two things. One, they didn't know they did it, or two, they didn't care that he did it, which is unfortunate. But my assumption is that whoever it was either didn't know that they just went flush, walk away, or they were like, ooh, well, I guess I'm gonna go. Oh yeah, and I get tab, and it kind of gives me an indication of what I need to clean, so I can kind of get in there. And if you hit a really dirty area, it looks great because it looks like this, and you're like, oh, I got a lot to do here. Like I said, I like jumping around, and then I'll go in and finish stuff up because I think it's fun to kind of just see what I need to do and go where I need to go. And clean the top of this there. Just kind of clean it around. Oh, nice. That's better than the house flipper. Yes, it is so nice to have this like highlight. It's such a nice thing. As of Sunday, I have unpacked the last 180 boxes and hung at all the artwork. Now I need to get a stack of Murden and Daniel Danger prints. Nice, yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you're getting through the boxes. That's awesome. So yeah, we're just gonna hit this. Windows are easy and fun to for me anyway to complete, so I like to hit the windows and just do that. I've done most of the windows. We can see I've done the window, and the window frame still needs cleaning, so we can just kind of see what that means. It's probably the top of the window, yeah, which I can't get from here, but I can do a lot of it. Oh yeah, gotta get that gunk off. And we get the stone. The stone is, it's going to have moss on it, so this is going to work somewhat, but it's not going to completely clean it immediately. Oh, there we go. We got that done. Oh, we got that done too. Nice. Love that. But you got to get framed. Yes. So yeah, how's everybody doing tonight? This is the game. This is a podcast game for sure. This is especially like podcasts that I'm like, oh, I just like have the video on, but I don't really need to see the video, so it's just on another tab. This is great for that. I have listened to many a podcast about Gundam. The Great Gundam Project, for some reason, is perfect for playing this game, or just doing it while Austin and all talk about Turn A Gundam at the moment. God, Turn A Gundam is good. Totally worth Patreon support. And yeah, just going around cleaning stuff. This is totally worth the money. The variety, and just like, yeah, this is a relaxing, fun game. Totally a good time. Sometimes things get stressful. I don't like the levels, including the carousel, which we'll see later, that involve you being like this and having to spray up to a ceiling. I'm not a big fan of that because I think it's hard to control. So like, there's a big like multi-level like treehouse thing, and I don't like having to clean underneath it. It's not as fun to me as some of the other stuff. But I do think that like spraying from a distance between bars because you can't go in is kind of a cheap level. All right, we're gonna switch this because now we're dealing with like some other harder to get at gunk. What are y'all playing these days? Anybody play anything that they're like, oh, this is my favorite video game right now, or this is the game I keep going back to? I have now. Look, I haven't finished. I mean, I finished it, but I'm not like done collecting things in Psychonauts 2. And Psychonauts 2 is real good. It's a real fun, real good writing, good gameplay. I think some of the boss fight encounters are not as great as I would like, but they're still fine. So I've been doing a lot of that. Tried to go back to Boyfriend Dungeon, not really feeling it. I think I got my times and money out of Boyfriend Dungeon, and I'm not probably looking to replay that. Sin says right now I'm trying to finish a blasphemous. Nice. Third boss is awful. Bosses should be auto scrollers. I hear you. Uh, Bosses can be awful. Um, I haven't tried uh, that new gotcha game that is also a pinball thing. World whatever. World Flipper. I have not tried World Flipper. I'm look. I do my best not to play gotcha games because the gotcha style mechanic is not good for me. But it's pinball, and that sounds pretty okay. I don't need tier five waifus and husbandos. That's not like a thing that like I don't know. Like those free to play games that really want you to put money in, I'm kind of bad with, and I don't got money for that. I need money to buy model kits, mobile suits, and stuff. So, uh, did deliveries to all the towns in Washington and American Truck Simulator, says Lord Grashington. Got the new DLC that that adds Wyoming to the map, which I need to visit soon. Hell yeah! It it's not super difficult to power wash while talking, so I can or while reading, so I can kind of do that. Um, World Flipper gotcha games are only fun using the equivalent of Cheat Engine and an Android simulator. So there you go. Yeah, yeah. If you're cheating, sounds okay. But yeah, I try to avoid gotcha wherever possible. But the appeal of getting those tier fives doesn't really do anything for me, so I don't worry about it. But I get how it can be very awesome for some people. I don't know. And I'm still playing Hearthstone. Um, I will admit I'm playing a wild deck that is that is broken. Like it literally a function is happening that shouldn't. It is, but I'm winning with it, so I've been using it. Um, but it's just like it's a deck where um, you pull out. It is like a 6 mana card that pulls out a card from your deck and that like a monster from your deck that then attacks or minion that attacks the player directly. Doesn't matter if you have taunt and then dies. But for some reason, it's the card Cthulhu is getting buffed way more than it should be, and it's a glitch and shouldn't be happening. And Hearthstone hasn't fixed it yet, so I'm playing that because I'm tired of losing to a bunch of quest decks that are not cheating, they're just broken. So instead, I'm playing a deck that is getting wins that are legitimate, but due to a glitch. So I'm doing that. And I'm getting wins, so I don't care. um, let's see. I saw the lake come out, but I wanted to hear some thoughts before I got it. Oh yeah. Uh, I've heard good things about that from like demos and such. But yeah, I'm hoping that I can hear about that on some podcasts. I'm hoping some people check that out. Uh, Lord Crash says I played a couple hours. Looks like fun. Yeah, basically you go to help out with a paper route or not paper a postal route, like to help out because you're in the big city. It's basically like the start of a Hallmark movie where you move to the big city and you got a big corporate job, and now you're coming back to the small town. You're going to learn a lesson about small town values and true meaning Christmas. Only it's not that because it's not a Christmas movie. But yeah, you're helping out your dad, and then like uh, Stardew Valley short hike, but not. Yeah, to me, it's that thing of like, yeah, it's like a Hallmark movie, and then but maybe you're not going to be sad, and maybe you're not going to learn the true meaning of Christmas because you're big time new Hallmark movies and Lifetime movies that are Christmas themed. You for some reason they latched onto someone that works at a magazine is like a big city job, um, even though there aren't magazines anymore. And if I remember correctly, one of the biggest magazines in America that would certainly be a magazine that people who watch a lot of those movies might have is like Southern Living, and I think Southern Living is headquartered in like a small, a fairly not small, but certainly not huge town in the South. So okay, uh, Lake is a very chill, fun game with some good story stuff in it, and the anti-persona bit where you didn't have to be choosy about who to hang out with. I like that. It's a super is the happier version of my summer car. Okay. If you give a Condé Nast employee a good $60,000 a year job just hanging garbage uh, in a mid-sized town, it'll be much happier. Oh yeah, so you can see I'm getting some messages here because we hit 40%. And I'm not being precise right now. This is like the lowest setting or second to lowest setting washer, and I'm just hitting a bunch of stuff and just like kind of cleaning up, and then I'll fine tune it. We're just hitting the big areas, and we're trying to hit what we can without having to get a big ladder because that does because we got the giant scaffolding to get up top. I don't think we're gonna finish this tonight, like this stage, because it's a big stage. But we'll get some of it done, and we'll revisit some old favorites as well, because it's fun to look at. I like going and using the vehicles. I like our going back to the vehicles and completing the vehicles. I think those are fun. So we'll kind of just tool around. Like I said, I don't want to like finish because I got something to do while I listen to podcasts. Uh, Loading Ready Run is doing, or they have a infrequently updated wrestling podcast that I believe they're Sidewalk Slam that I believe they will be releasing another episode soon talking about AEW. So I would like to, and I would like to have something to play while I listen to that. Boop, 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 boop. So yeah, just cleaning. Get a little more water. Um, is it updated more than every 3 years? Yes. Yay. Yes, we had a Power Bombcast this week, which was very fun to hear. But yeah, so basically, you know how a lot of people got free time because of the lockdown? Um, well, they didn't get that. Adam and Graham didn't get that, so they're actually weren't watching as much wrestling as they used to because Graham has a child and had more responsibilities with he and his wife and their child at home and not going to an office. Just had a lot more work actually, and then Adam just had a lot of stuff going on his own, so they just weren't watching as much wrestling, and they can't really podcast about wrestling since they're a two-person podcast if neither is really watching wrestling. So they're just basically doing like they did one on SummerSlam, so now they're going to do one on like big events that they're watching instead of like every couple weeks. Um, I was happy to hear another episode of Power Bombcast. I would still like to. That is the premium podcast that I have not been a guest on. That I would probably most likely like to be a guest on. Not likely. I would like to be a guest on the Power Bombcast uh, because I still watch wrestling and I have opinions on it. Uh, and also, I'm probably the only person. I don't know. Maybe Jan's watching Power, but I feel like no one's watching NWA Power, which is back, and I would like to talk about NWA Power. It would have been nice to hear if any of the fellas had watched the uh, uh, the Mickey James produced women's NWA event, which was which from a production standpoint they gotta fucking hire some people that know what they're doing. But from a wrestling standpoint, that was a fucking great show. Hey, Xandra's here. Just I start swearing. Oh no. Um, they did bring in a new guy. You're totally right, Sin. Xandra, welcome. I'm power washing some stuff. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to move some stuff there. We're working on a monastery here. I'm going to put this over here so it's out of my way. Uh, what was that super dramatized promotion that I assume didn't last more than a few seasons? Lord Crescent, you're talking about Lucha Underground, which is incredible because uh, doing some cleaning yourself. Nice spring clean in 2019 time. Nice. Um, Yes, I believe, Lord Crashing, that you were talking about Lucha Underground, which was a very well produced show that they just like taped a bunch of episodes in a row and then aired them months later and produced it. Bobby just subscribed. That is 14 months. Thank you so much. Let's throw a bunch of the barricade, the Lego, the site, the moat in chat, and thank Bobby for subscribing. Appreciate it very much. Lucha Underground, which is good despite its production kind of not having things he made be evil. Yeah, the producer. Yes, the producer. There's a lot about that was bad, but the work was good. And also, a thing they did, which is incredible, is um, they hired someone to be the evil character, like the owner, the in universe owner, and he's not a wrestler. They just hired an actor to play the role, so he could act well, and it was just like revolutionary that they just like hired a guy to be the evil owner of the company, and it was great. It was like, um, yes, yes, he has a temple, um, and it had like lore and nonsense and had like lots of intertwining storylines. It was really well like designed and had great wrestling and great wrestlers. Apparently, the contracts were not great. He has a brother that is a gimmick stolen from the Goonies. Yes, indeed, he had a locked in a place and then unleashed monster brother. Uh, there's a lot to love about Lucha Underground. It wasn't a great show, but it was a good show. Anyway, NWA Power is you can just watch. It's a throwback to old wrestling in that it is like taped in a studio, like a small studio with just a couple hard cams and a live audience. And it's for free on YouTube. You can just watch it. NWA Power with like 3 Rs. And it is a throwback in so many ways to traditional wrestling. It's just like promo, immediately cut to people wrestling in the ring. Like someone comes out from behind the curtain, gets interviewed at a weird stage, like where you can see the wrestling ring in the background. Next match, run on, like old weird gimmicks, great old like great weird gimmicks. It's people just doing their regular characters without any shtick. Um, it is like a throwback, but it is a fairly modern throwback. Um, I was going to ask about NWA's owner, but yep, he is still there. Yes, also Sin, uh, it is um, it is worth mentioning that um, often not how do I put this? Billy Corgan made some music I really love and also has some opinions that I don't fucking agree with. And I think that he should open up his mind to the possibilities that he's a douche. Um, but also, Billy Corgan did save the NWA financially. Um, so, appreciate that. He lost a lot of money trying to save TNA and then eventually just saved the NWA. So I appreciate that, but also, and I appreciate uh, several albums that he had a large hand in that meant a lot to me in the '90s. But also, I would love for him to be a better version of Billy Corgan. That would be pretty great. Complicated. Sometimes it's complicated. In the same way, I appreciate AEW and what AEW is trying to do and is in fact doing. But at the same time, I can acknowledge that I don't have to, and in fact don't like Nick Khan, and there's no reason for me to like a billionaire. There's just no reason for me to do it. Uh, I just have no need or interest, and I don't care if he's better than Vince McMahon. That's not saying much because Vince McMahon is a monster. So Tony Khan being better than Vince McMahon is whatever. Uh, I like the more sporty approach to the way they present AEW. Yes, yeah, I like NWA Power because it is attempting to look at wrestling as uh, as a sporting product in the old style NWA, like television style, especially like the Southern wrestling of like in Southern wrestling, a lot of times one of your ring announcers or your commentary would be a local radio or television personality would also do that. Like a sportscaster would also do that because they could talk and they would learn. And some of them grew up loving wrestling, and this was their way into the business. So you had like people who were like, would tell you the local news on the weekend, and then also on a Sunday morning, they would call wrestling. And it added this air of legitimacy to a lot of the Southern wrestling promotions that was like kind of incredible. Uh, they weren't just former wrestlers, they were like newscasters or sportscasters who just also covered wrestling. It was pretty fucking great. Um, Often the local radio TV personality paid for some local shows to happen. Yes. Um, Sometimes your announcers would be people that like owned the business or they were a business partner of it because they knew, like local TV knew that wrestling in the South, wrestling got eyes better than other programming like reruns or like whatever else. So they knew that brought in business, brought in eyes. So local stations, yeah, they could get affiliated syndicated stuff, but they could also, there we go, they could also do their own shows. Vince McMahon is what happens when you're too obsessed with big muscles in personal and promotional ways. Yeah, I will agree with you. There are plenty of fictional billionaires I have mixed feelings about liking. I've never mistakenly liked a real one. Yes, I will say, in terms of liking, now, especially billionaires, let's just say millionaires. In terms of, like millionaires, it's like the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, is like I have complicated feelings about that gentleman, um, uh, and his ways, and he's just a preacher and a wrestler. So like, got complicated feelings about a lot of fake millionaires. Uh, but yeah, I'm not here to love uh, billionaires. I don't stand for billionaires. That's not my thing. Uh, did Ted DiBiase ever have that level of money? So Ted DiBiase was definitely a successful wrestler, and also Ted DiBiase did very well for himself in investing. Now, was he a millionaire? I don't think he was ever an actual millionaire, but did he do well for himself? Did he invest his money well and save his money well? 100%. Then he also found God, and that's his business. I don't think I follow a single billionaire on Twitter. I probably should double check sometime soon. Yeah, I don't think I follow any billionaires. I probably follow, I mean, I follow some very rich, successful people, some of whom I know in real life, others I only know a little bit about, but they're very successful. And I don't know, like I can't tell you if Dave Batista's a millionaire, but I know Dave Batista ain't going hungry. Dave Batista is doing pretty damn good for himself, and I follow him still because he's a pretty good follow. Not the best follow, but he's a pretty good follow. Oh, I can still go up even higher on this. I'm very up high. We just do this here, clean a bunch of stuff. Um, it's funny when I remember old New York wrestling. Apparently, my great great grandmother was a huge, gorgeous George mark. Hell yeah, look, says get high. We're high up. Uh, Gorgeous George was incredible. Um, yeah, so I was born in 1980, as some people may know. So I was a child during some of the 80s boom of wrestling, and was certainly influenced by that. And then I was a teenager for the Attitude Era and the NWO. So I got to see all of that. I remember Hulk Hogan. I remember watching Hulk Hogan's first WCW show before he turned heel, when he was just went to WCW, and how much that like was remarkable. I remember feeling like there was some incredible wrestling on WWF at the time, but I didn't like a lot of the wrestlers. I only like some of them, but so it's like, I mean, I couldn't appreciate the subtleties of a Bret Hart, but I could appreciate that that man knew how to fucking wrestle. I got it uh, as I got older, but I would go through phases of loving wrestling. Dave still doesn't have the power at his house, so Dave is okay, but also Big Dave is another DDP, as in, oh, I was 30-year-old bouncer turned wrestler. Yes. Um, yes. Batista like came in later in life to wrestling. That was like that. He is not one of those people that was like, I got to get into a wrestling school because I'm old enough that my parents can't tell me I can't become a wrestler. He was like, I'm doing this thing. Wrestling is wait, I can be a wrestler. I do love that for people that come in late that have that thing where they're like, wait, you can just like go to like, oh yeah, I could do. Ooh, I could do that. Okay. Uh, he isn't a kid that fought for the dream, yes, or a third generation legacy. Yeah, he's a guy who like was a bouncer, and someone was like, "Have you thought about becoming a professional wrestler?" And he went, "No, I'm thinking about it now," uh, which I appreciate. I also like that. Uh, I mean, there are many examples of this. Ooh, I can't get that high. Ooh, oh, gonna fall. There are many examples of the people who are just like, uh, "You're a giant person. Uh, Here's my card. I would like to talk to you about becoming a professional wrestler and making a lot of money." Uh, because wrestlers, when they're out like working out or they're out like doing stuff, they're if they see someone that is like 7 feet tall, they're just like, hey, you're 7 feet tall and you look under 25. Do you want to become a wrestler? Yes. Yeah. He was like, does that shit pay? Yes. Uh, no, Dan Reichert did the thing you're supposed to do when you want to get into wrestling and you're not a wrestler, which is um, you hang out with wrestlers enough that you get asked to help out for free, and then you do that for a while. And of course, here's the real thing. The real legitimate thing is that the thing that hurt Dan Reichert's independent wrestling managing career is that he got hired from WWE, so he can't do that shit anymore. As a WWE employee, he can't work the indies, but there was nothing stopping Dan. Dan is a, as you may be aware, Dan is a natural heel, and is very good at that. Um, he would have certainly rose in the ranks of indie promotions in New York. He's also has the drive to waste a. Here, okay, here's legitimately the most important thing you need to be a wrestler is to be very bad with your own personal finances, because you got to spend a lot of money traveling to make none none of it back for a very long time. You got to love it, or you got to have a trust fund, um, and or be okay with losing money, um, so that at some point you can start making enough money that you don't have to do your day job as much. Um, Although some people keep their day jobs because if their day job has insurance, health insurance, they need that to be a wrestler. Now, of course, Dan wasn't looking to be a wrestler. Dan was looking to be a manager. Dan could have also gotten into refereeing because he could have done a great job as a heel referee. Um, I think he would have done great with that. But yeah, it really is just like I'm going to drive to this place for a 15 minutes appearance. And also, here's the thing about being a manager: you don't get to. You got to be a really good manager to sell merch. It's very hard to sell merch as a manager, uh, as anyone that's not a wrestler. It's difficult. So, um, but you can do it. You can do it. Like yeah. The thing that limited Dan was he got a job. Um, and some just become Twitch streamers and eternal Enigma just wants to be Jimmy Hart. And yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it's the whole thing, right? Like, inexplicable human being. So the T, I don't think I would go that far for Dan because um, I think Dan is a very smart man, um, about the things that he cares about. He's a very knowledgeable man about things that he like has passion for and understandings of. Um, but he is like Dan is a min maxer. Dan is not trying to be a red mage. Dan dumped all his points into things he cares about, but then he also didn't put like Dan put all his points in attack, but didn't put anything into agility, so he can't like run or like dodge, or like he put all his points into like damage um, as an archer, but didn't put any points into accuracy. So it's just like you're just like, wait, what's going on? You don't understand how eggs work. What? Why didn't you put any points into understanding cooking? All points into luck and magic find. Yes, I think luck is a definite way to go. That he did mine it, but yes, he did buy a house. That's the thing. I mean, like found the love of his life, and they're a wonderful couple, and I'm thrilled for him. Bianca rules. Did very well. Has done very well as well. Um, I own a signed photo from the Hardys when they appeared in Ring of Honor, the night in New York where they won the belts, the tag belts in Ring of Honor. It was a have you have to pay a lot of money to get this opportunity to get these signatures. It wasn't pay for the signature, it was pay for the chance to like meet them, and then you also get a photo. And Dan just wandered back there because he was told to go say hi to a wrestler that was also there, who I don't want to say to blow up their spot. But he went to go say hi to a wrestler and then also got that signed photo for me. And I don't know if anyone tried to stop him, but I bet no one did because he was just like, yeah, this is exactly what I should be doing. Definitely not what he was supposed to be doing. Uh, oh, yes, yeah, a lot of stuff. A lot of Dan is just like, it doesn't hurt to ask, or it doesn't, like, and it's not like do it now, apologize later. It's just like do it, see what happens. Like, yeah, I'm gonna ask where the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile is right now because if it's anywhere, maybe I can get a photo with the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. It doesn't hurt to ask. It's like, okay, I don't know. Um, Look, I'll say this right now. Nothing makes me happier in this world, which is an exaggeration that I don't mean, that the very idea that Kofi Kingston knows a lot about Dan Reichert, one of my favorite wrestlers in the modern era in a long time, calls him Dirty Dan. And I love that. I love that that's a reality that exists. That Kofi Kingston is just like, God damn it, Dan, that Dan Reichert has a bit that he does with Kofi where he doesn't say he pretends to not know where Kofi is currently when they're doing the Zoom calls for the podcast and announces him as a different place. I love that so much that Dan has a bit with Kofi Kingston. It just tickles me, just makes me happy to think about. The person that asked about doing the wild stuff everywhere else assumes is impossible. Yes, totally. Uh, so here's the thing. Dan also Dan being on that podcast is not like Dan's master plan to be on that podcast. Uh, sometimes it's him pitching them an idea, and they're like, "Okay, cool. Well, this is your idea, so do it." But mostly, it's just like I think it's very clear, and this may change the more they're on the road. The New Day are out of ideas for a podcast, so to fit, they're literally in the fill time stages. So Dan talking about his dad on which is on the most recent one, um, talking about Paul Reiger is like beautiful. They're so happy to be able to talk to Dan about his dad. They're like, great, this is a thing we can talk about right now because they are out of ideas for a weekly podcast. It is very clear that they are out of ideas. Um, so I love that. Now I don't know if Dan is on episodes of Corey Graves' podcast all the time. I assume he's not, but I also have not listened to Corey Graves' podcast, so I can't tell you if Dan is on the other podcast that he produces for WWE. I have no idea. Couldn't tell you, but it's nice to hear him when he's involved. At the very least, Dan doing the intro gives them something to play off on, so I think they're happy with it. And one less thing for Xavier to do, which is great. Give Austin less things because he's got a million of them, and if you give him less things, he'll replace it with another thing. All right, we did 73% of this, so let's gonna move. We're gonna move on. We're gonna go back to career mode here. We're gonna go back to the carousel. We haven't checked out the carousel. Um, just be warned. I turned the music down a little bit, but I think we're gonna hear some loud music on the carousel. Although I did say I turned it down, so it should be better. Yes, this is still loud, but it's not as loud as it was before I turned down the music. Um, so we're just gonna go here and also, that's a nice touch. That the whir was a nice touch. Um, I just don't like inconveniencing folks, so I know if and when I go to the old uh, faithful inn, roof access is apparently as easy as can I help lower the flags? Um, just thought about since I'm doing laundry, but I was able to get the washer dryer off the moving vehicle, nice alone, hooked them up all alone, and somehow after being in storage for 3 years and having several bumpy rides, they both work. The T, that's awesome. It's so nice when you're moving and setting things up and it just fucking works. It's a great feeling when you're like, oh, this shit works. So I have done a lot of this. I'm still gonna have to get up in there. We're gonna get a ladder to go up in there. We're moving on there. I washed all the horses. I still have to do this stuff. There's still stuff to do. We're at 67%, but I did all the floor and I've done most of the ceiling. So I've gotten some of this done. But yeah, congratulations to the T that you got stuff. Oh, looking good. We're still gonna be we're still power washing. We're not like done here. We're going to be going for an hour, but I do want to say that tomorrow is my normal streaming on a Thursday, and I hope you'll come hang out for that. I just want to say that now because that'll be nice. Um, I had to, so the power standard for dryers changed, so I had to buy a new electric cord for it, install it. That was surprisingly easy. Great. Does the game have a floor cleaning uh, so Sin, they do make it tedious, but it I would say the floor is less tedious than the ceiling because you can just do this and then like walk around. This isn't that bad, especially if you have the wide, right? Like we don't have to clean this here, but um, to me, this is still better than standing and looking up. So we're just gonna go around here and kind of clean up some stuff, try to get some of this done now that we're high up. I did a lot of the side from the ground, but you do miss out on um, cleaning this stuff here. So you got to get up in there. So some of this is tedious, which is why I don't stay in one area for too long, and I like to move around because that's not tedious. So we'll hit the highlight here. This, this is just about done. We can go low. I don't know what I still need to do on this one. Oops. Sometimes you get stuck. There we go. It's not perfect system. But yeah, we can clean some more of this. We're just going to clean it up. Can you jump on the top? Oh yeah, I can jump over here. We got a good jump, and then we can kind of see, you know, oh, we got to clean that there. Like this section, I'm not sure what needs to get cleaned yet, but we'll just go in there. And then we can kind of clean in here and we're just going to spray the top of this like this. And like I said, I'm going to get back in there and kind of clean what else I need to clean. But this is just like, just move around, clean around everything, clean it up. This is, yeah, like I said, this game is best when you have something to listen to, uh, podcast or a video that you don't need to look at, or something in another tab, whatever, because it's just real easy, real simple. And if a section is annoying, you just move on to another section and come back to it. Eventually, you do have to finish that, but whatever. And they have made it better about hunting for pixels and hunting for dirt. It's still not perfect because sometimes you're like, why am I at 99% of this section? What am I missing? What do I need to do? It. I'm going to be honest with you. It still sometimes is annoying, but it's not always annoying. Okay, this looks like it's going to be a little harder, so we'll go. Yeah, and then we got that there. A little smaller, but easier to get this dirt up. And you can always hit tab to be like, oh no. So we're gonna hit some major sections, clean up a bunch of stuff, feel good about what we're doing here. And it's satisfying. I mean, I think the main thing of this game is that it is satisfying to do this. Just like clean a whole section, starting with it being 0% clean, and now we're at 79% clean. It's just like, yeah. And you can kind of get fast with it if you want to, like, because I'll clean it up later. I'm just gonna get big swatches done, just big sections. And then, yeah, I hit 80%, and now I get like weird messages. And you're like, okay, I don't care about that. I don't care about these messages. All right, I'm gonna need heavier for that, so let's go in there and do that. And this is like telling me about the monastery that we just were cleaning, which comes after you unlock by doing well here. All right, so let's see if that's going to work. Yeah, this is going to work, so we can just hit that and clean this here. Hit tab to see what we're missing because it's dark. What we got on here? Oh, holy shit! Sin just gifted 10 subs. Thank you so much, Sin. And I'm gonna move my microphone over here so I can see. So congratulations to Slowbird, Selton, Bano, Danson Vorka, Bordo Ronin, Sits with a Beer, Zandra. What's up, Zandra Vandra? The T. Tony the Swordsman, and Glenn Chu. Let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote into chat. And thank, if you were gifted a sub, please go ahead and thank Sin for gifting so many subs. Thank you very much for doing that. That rules. Enjoy your emotes, friends. This is going to take a little while. There's Bino. But thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. It's nice to have a bunch of gifted subs. Welcome to the top of the gift sub leaderboard. Um, Also, it's just nice to have a bunch of subscribers. So enjoy that, friends. Also, it's September, so if you would like to convert a subscription, if you were gifted a sub, you can convert that and save money. If you want to become a subscriber, you could save money doing that. Um, but yeah, because it's September, so sub if you want to. It's gonna take a little while for all these to go through. But yeah, enjoy the emotes, enjoy not seeing ads when you click on the video or on the stream, not seeing pre-roll ads. And welcome. Nice to have you. Very kind of you, Sin. Appreciate that very much. Also good when the other gifted subs that I've had expire. Okay, it's nice having new ones come through. All right, finished that. Great. So you might have been able to see this part. There was still some dirt, but I hit enough of it that it said, okay, it's done, which is helpful. Because sometimes you're just missing a little section. You're like, what am I messed up? What have I messed up here? And we'll just kind of do that. So this is kind of where we're at here. We'll be using this. We'll be hanging out in this section for a bit. Time, great. We're doing good. I mentioned this kind of at the top of the stream. I don't think I'm going to be doing 2 hours tonight. This might be an hour and a half stream. We've had some bad weather come through, and I am a little worried about this connection staying up because we have a storm. Not a big tropical storm, but enough for me to be like, ooh, oh, this could be bad. So we'll see. Just clean up some of this. I do need to start on my Lego shoe and resist the urge to have a pair. Oh, I love that idea of getting a double so you have two shoes. Yeah. Well, you got a Lego set you want to build. Great time to go do that. So get to it. All right, let's see here, there. Just cleaning, 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 cleaning. Boop, boop, boop. Clean, clean, clean. And drink a little water. I would like to get this roof section done because that's just a huge thing, and then I don't have to be down here doing that. Uh, it's in the closest box. It looks like an Adidas box, but on the top of the lid is normal Lego. Ooh, I like that. That's fun. I put some my old Amazon wish list there. I put some new Lego car stuff because this year they put out a lot of the Lego Champions line and some was like some legit licensed cars that are pretty neat. So I put a few of those on my wish list because those are fun. I do like doing Lego cars. I don't know I don't know much about anything about cars, but I do know what I like, and I do think those Lego cars are pretty neat. And they're also not as expensive as like Marvel Lego shit. Because we're probably going to get more Spider-Man stuff soon, I imagine, and that's always pricey. That's always going to be very expensive. Uh, oh yeah, the Technic stuff is pretty great. Um, but yeah, I put a few of those cars up there because those are neat. I do like making big robots. I mean, that's my favorite with Lego or obviously Gundam or Gunpla, but or Plamo. Uh, my buddy James is getting into model kits for the first time as just like I think this is his hobby now, which I'm very excited about because he has no relationship to Gundam, so he's just buying things he thinks look cool and are high grades, and I think that's awesome. I'm very excited for him to get into it. Of course, we've been um, Jordan. We've been kind of going where Jordan's not. He's not doing Gunpla every night because he does other games, but he's doing more Gunpla now than he did before, which I think is great for him to be trying that out. And it's nice. It's nice for us to be able to go and raid at the end of a stream somebody who is playing or who is building Gunpla. Because most of my friends who are streamers that do Gunpla stuff stream like in the daytime, and they're not up late. Uh, I have yet to build, but I do plan the Porsche. Oh, the size of a baby. So that was my entry to Gunpla, just cool high grades because in 2018, $30 is a cool fuck around kit that takes 3 hours because Lego's pricing. Yes. For me, I've loved Gundam stuff since like the 90s, and when I found out I could build my own death scythe, I was like, oh, and it doesn't involve glue? I can just build this? I don't need glue? I was like, yeah, I'm in. Sign me up. Sign me the fuck up. Ooh, I can do these in sections. I didn't realize these were in sections. The canopies in sections. That makes life so much easier because now we can just like do it till we hit the percentage on this, and then we'll get it checked off. That's a lot easier. Uh, I like that they do this. That like instead of just being like the canopy is one big piece, the canopy is a bunch of small pieces. I didn't even notice that. I think that's great because then you can just be like, all right, what am I missing in this section that I need to do to get this done? Yeah, we'll just do that here. There we go. We got enough of that. Yeah, my favorite pre-modern Gunpla were the die-cast. Yes. Um, yeah, for me it was just like I got into it because I was really just like looking to like I already had action figures, and that was the next best thing was building it. And then when I realized, oh, I like building this, and it doesn't involve me using glue or anything like that, and like some of them had stickers, but there were years where I didn't put a single sticker on a kit or anything like that. I just built them, other than maybe like the eye stickers. Uh, but I just loved to put them together, and then I spent many years not doing that. I would get Lego now and again, but I wasn't building anything. I didn't have the room for it, and I definitely didn't have the money for it. Uh, but partially because I wanted to do something with streaming, and then also really missed building. It was like, well, I'm coming back to this. I'm going to do this again. I missed this. Now I get to do this again. So, and then I'm very lucky. People showed up on my first stream. I promoted it, like leading up to it. It's been like, this is going to be my first stream, so come shoot my first stream. And then people came to the first one, and people have been coming. At least a few people come to all of them, which is great. Uh, Very lucky to have people to spend years and years building up some sort of people who want to see what I do, and then also came in and the first of my friend group to have streams that were not just gaming streams, and then people were like, or just like stand-up shows, and people were like, "Oh, that's neat. You can." One of my favorite things was people were like, "Wait, you can do that?" This was obviously like 4 years ago. I mean, but people still say that. They're like, "So you don't just play games, you do other stuff?" And it's like, yeah. There are people that just like talk, that just do talk shows, or they do interviews, or they do, uh, it's like there's a lady that, I mean, look, I'll say there's a lady. There are lots of people that do this, but I remember 5 years ago, there was a lady who knitted and just kind of chatted. And she was like an older lady that loved knitting. And she didn't have two cameras. She had one camera on a nice chair that she sat in, and she had a headset microphone. So she sat in her chair, and you just watched her knit, and then she just like chatted with people and talked about what was going on in her life. Uh, and I love that, that was just a thing that people were like, yeah, I'm just talking with this lady. It's pretty fucking grad. Um, Delight to have you on big TV while chilling. Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate that, Sandra. It's always, I love that you're here. And and like that, having the community and having people around, and then also having like streamers that I know that I go hang out in their streams and chat. And sometimes they're talkative, and sometimes they're like, I'm doing a thing. Oh, Pat's here too. Hi, Pat. Welcome. It's nice. I don't know. It's always nice. Um, uh, but yeah. Um, yeah, that's the thing. I think like building model kits, building Lego stuff was the thing that I just missed doing, and then I suddenly had the opportunity to do it here, and then I was like, maybe I could play some games. Like I've got two monitors, I can probably do that. I don't have like a capture card or nothing. Okay, so we're done up here. We're now at 80% clean. We got. Let's just do this because I don't want to come back to this roof. So we're gonna use the vibrating attachment thing here, and we're gonna try to get the spire ring done. Uh, we're just going to kind of angle that because that'll bounce off. So even if we don't have a great angle on it, it should clean it. And then when that's done, we'll be done with the roof portion of this. And then we don't have to come back up here. We're just going to hit all this and hit the tab, see what we've missed, and do all that. But yeah, no, I believe me. I mean, I've talked about this, right? Especially in 2019, where I was going through stuff, which some of which I'm not over. Having this when I went from being fully employed at a company I thought I would be at until for many years, and then I didn't have that anymore, and didn't and realized too late that I had associated my self worth with my job, which is bad. And I didn't realize I had been doing that. I knew I took pride in my work, and I knew that I loved where I was and the people I worked with, but I didn't realize that I identified so much of myself with that job. I had no idea that I had fallen into that trap. Uh, so when I was able to, there we go, finish that. It was very nice having this in 2019, and of course, in the pandemic era, uh, having having this as well has been really nice. Like I'm with my folks, but I don't like we're at the point now where I don't have like weekly Zoom hangouts. I have like monthly Zoom hangouts. I have my D&D crew, which is great, and it's so nice to have that. But we play D&D. We don't really we sometimes hang out if someone's running late, we'll hang out and talk, but we don't like hang out after. It's a social thing, which I love, but it's not the same thing as having like a dedicated time to chat with friends. So to have like kind of like this outlet has been very helpful. And I'm tired of being the person that helps organize Zoom stuff, but I got to get back in the habit of that because I do very much miss the Zoom hangouts and the like, hey, let's hang out at this time and who's available for this and oh, we got to celebrate this person's birthday with a hangout. Let's throw them a surprise Zoom hangout. They thought it was just a couple of people, but it's 20 people and oh, that was too many people. Why did we do this? We shouldn't have done 20 people for someone's birthday thing, but for what's worth, you seem really great at organizing things. Glenn, it's a byproduct of my jobs, many jobs of producing. Um, I try to be aware when I am making something too much like work and not enough like play. Um, I should be on a ladder for doing this stuff, but it's easy enough to do it from down here, and they'll just fine tune it. The stuff you can't get from underneath, you got to be above. I'll do from there, but I'm just gonna do some of this stuff on this angle because it's more fun that way. Because I got the long extension on here, so I might as well use it. But I'll show you. I might as well show this. If I switch to short extension, I can hit it, but it's you can see there's I should be able to clean some stuff that's right over there, and I'm not because I'm not. It's not as powerful when I get over there. But since I paid in-game currency in here, to, you can see top left I have or top right I have money. Now I can clean that, and it goes away because I'm using the extender. Uh, yes. I have many years of being a showrunner and live stage runner and producer and live event manager and producer of events. That's why I commonly get when lots of people, including myself, went to conventions. The number one thing I would get from people when I was producing panels was, "Thank you, that was fun," because I produce fun, good panels that people want to be a part of. And the number two thing that I would get was, "You send the most emails," or "You're so organized." Like, "Oh, you were sending updates. You were like, hey, it's a month to the panel. Here's what I would like from you in the next 2 weeks." And I do remember somebody being like, uh, "Hey, you told me what the address and the floor I should be on for this PAX West thing. No one's ever done that for me. I've always had to figure that out. It's so nice to know where I need to be." Now, did that solve the problem of somebody going to the wrong theater or venue? No, that still happened, but it happened less frequently than it would otherwise. Uh, did I still have somebody who double booked themselves and canceled on me the day of? I still had that. But considering the fact that there were events that I produced that had 40 people involved and then sometimes just 10, I still had really good, like, my ratio of people who were like, "Oh no, I overslept," or "Hey, I went to the wrong place," even though you told me, was very low. I did pretty well with that. Now let's just hit this here and try to hit some of the ceiling. We're just cleaning the ceiling up as we go. Uh, I was with the video yearbook was almost roped into audio tech, and I just said I am tone deaf and have no talent because I didn't want to be the audio guy for chorus. Sadly, both of his daughters. Hey, thank you for the follow, Clash. Um, Both of his daughters were cute, and years later, I realized they liked me. So missed opportunity. Sin. That's a look. Here's the thing. I think we can all agree that Cute daughters are definitely a good reason to do things, but not the best reason to do things. And sometimes avoiding a huge hassle is more important than the possibility of getting to spend a little more time with cute daughters. And I think that that is a universal thing that we can all get behind. It would have been cursed, yes, and 100%. Avoiding things that are cursed is great. Um, yeah, that is, we can look back in hindsight and be like, oh, I should have done the thing. It would have been good for me to do that thing, even if it would have been annoying. And other times we could look back and go, oh, wow, I dodged a bullet there, huh? That would have been hours of bad times. That would have been a lot of bad times and work for no one. Now, taking some time to learn things, learn skills in a especially a high school or college environment where there's pressure, but there's not the same kind of pressure of this is a new job. Is like this is a volunteer thing I'm doing. I think that's certainly rewarding, and I do recommend for people to like if opportunities are like hey, we need volunteers to help us paint sets, and we'll show you how this works. And hey, we need help hanging lights in the theater, and we can like tell you about theater production. Like I think that stuff is like that kind of volunteering can be great for just like I'm doing grunt work, but I'm learning a bunch of things. It's like I'm going to learn how like these curtains work. I wouldn't know how to do that otherwise. Like I think that stuff is really valuable, but the like, hey, this is hours and hours of work, and no one's going to respect you for doing it, and you're going to have a very bad time. Is a thing that it's good to recognize that. Clash says, it's nice to hear live event shenanigans. Thank you for existing. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's nice of you to say. That stuff is cool. And if you're a comp sci game nerd like me, that's the way to get VO talent, but also so much work. Yes, totally, right? Um, that stuff. Oops, I hit the wrong button. I want to hit this, change there. Yeah. I miss live event stuff. I will say I haven't wanted to go to a PAX concert in a long time because you're standing. Look, you're just going to stand for a long time, and especially after being hours like walking around and waiting in lines and stuff, the idea of like standing up for several hours for a concert didn't appeal to me. But the fact that Scott2 Network was one of the guests at PAX, one of the musical guests, and I was just like, if I had been at that show, I definitely would have gone to that. I think I think they're so fucking talented and such like, and that band looked incredible. And what I did hear of it from the recording, I was like, oh, that's special and cool. Also, it's like one of those things you're like, hell yeah, Scott 2 Network should be doing PAX. Like that makes total sense, and it's such a no brainer. But yeah, this is probably one of my least favorite things about doing these kind of things is like cleaning ceilings because I think the angles are just not fun. But it works. Uh, Better to work live events, totally. Uh, I do miss doing live shows. I the pre-taped panel has been kind of interesting. I've enjoyed the pre-taped panel that I've done for a few events here and there. And I've also been to several like virtual cons as just somebody watching them. But it's not obviously as a performer, it's not the same thing. There's like because a few people asked like, "Hey, how come you didn't try to do like an improvised post mortem?" And it was basically like, well, because that's like 6 to 8 to 9 very funny people all on the same stage together. It to me, it fundamentally doesn't work as a Zoom call. I wouldn't use Zoom for that. I probably would use something else. I'd probably use Jitsi. But you know what I'm saying, or OBS Ninja. But you know what I'm saying. Uh, it just it wouldn't work. I would have to I wouldn't have to fund it. I would have to adjust the show. in a way that I would not be interested in doing to do that panel as a digital thing, um, which is why I didn't do it. But I did Pat Bear's Anime Club because that is me and two guests talking, and there's not a lot of over talk, and there's not a lot of like necessary back and forth. Um, so that I knew translated. Um, a post-mortem wouldn't work if Chris couldn't fall off the stage. Oh yes, no, I mean um, that was Kate. Kate unfortunately fell off the stage on my panel, um, and then earlier in that day, Ben Ulmer from Loading Ready Run also fell off that, or the night before, Ben fell off the same exact stage at a different panel, which is just bizarre. Uh, a big dude that did bouncer shit somewhere got the job guarding Rob Zombie while I was in town. Just played Mario Kart with Rob for hours. Um, I like that. Yeah, it's like, oh, you're my bodyguard when I'm in this town. Let's hang out. Uh, but yeah, yeah. That year they had the curtains up and the stage, the podiums were or not podium, the platform wasn't like deep enough for people to kind of maneuver as well. And there were, yeah, two people had fallen. Now, Kate, when she fell, she also fell on a thing that made it so none of the mics worked for a little while until cable got plugged in. It was a booster for the microphones, um, but you could hear us. There was an onboard camera or mics on the cameras, so the live audience couldn't really hear us, but the Twitch audience could hear us just like freaking out, which was very fun. And I didn't realize that at the time. It wasn't until later that I was like, oh, the Twitch audience could hear us while we were waiting for that to get fixed. Um, uh, Ben just like is leaning back to get out of someone's way and just completely falls back, and it is bizarre. Uh, it was it was one of those things where I was like, "Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, are you okay? Are you okay?" And she's like, "Yes," and I was like, "Great, this is hilarious." Um, but uh, that was that was the last time that I had like not the last time, but I definitely shifted how I ran that panel for the second half. Um, because basically when I get there, I now make the decision looking at the setup. Can we have multiple people come up from the panel and down, or do we have people like come to the podium for their first time, but in the second half, everyone just like has their own microphone, and I have to make that decision every time because there was an almost injury. Oddly enough, I think they only have was ever free around PAX time. I got dragged to my brother's wedding and avoided Asian. Oh yes, the PAX pox. Yeah, the bird flu. Um, yeah, I would lose my voice at PAX because I would be talking all weekend and be on panels and have to be like presenter and then also like talking. I've made the mistake at conventions for many, many years where I would arrive the night before and I would go to a crowded, loud bar and have to shout to talk to my friends and ruin my voice before PAX had even started or another con had even started. I did that so many times in my life. It's ridiculous. It took me so long to learn that like, hey, don't go to a bar like don't go talking to people in a loud bar or like the show floor, like yelling over the 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 noise on like a convention floor. Like, no, I want to talk to you here. Let's just talk here. All right, we're at 98%, so right now we're just like cleaning stuff up. I don't think we're gonna hit 100% on this because there's a lot of oh, okay, there's some dirt there, but like I don't know if I'm gonna catch all the dirt in every place. But I'm gonna try to hit some of it. So I'm like, I don't know what part of this thing. Oh, there it is. You can see here. There's some stuff there, so we can kind of just clean this up as we go, get what we can. But yeah, I do miss it. Um, it was weird that there was a PAX and I wasn't there. A PAX West, I should say, and I wasn't there because it's the first PAX West I've missed in many years. Uh, and I've never missed a PAX East, and I don't think I'll go to the one next year, depending. I mean, I'm gonna have to really, really want to be there to make that trip from here. I think I'm not gonna go to PAX East in 2022. I mean, who knows? I can't say for certain, but I've never missed a PAX East. I've gone to every single PAX East since PAX East started because I lived in New York and it was easy to get to Boston. I mean, I took the Fenghua bus, the Chinatown bus, which cost $15, and I took Mega Bus for many years until I eventually switched to taking like the train up. But I mean, I would go every year. I've never missed a PAX East, so it's gonna be weird. Um, just con crud, only 2 times. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't get sick after cons because also I don't drink and I like sleep. And I try to get sleep during conventions. Like it's hard to do. I don't always succeed at that, but it does help that I am attempt to take care of myself at cons. And even before the pandemic, I was washing my hands a lot, always trying to, you know, keep clean as much as possible. Yeah, so we're getting a bunch of little things done here. We're finding spots we need to get. We'll eventually, I would have to get on some ladders to kind of finish some stuff off here, but I can get some of this done like this. And I'm hitting the tab button to see what I still need to do. Um, yeah, let's see here what we're doing here. Okay. Let's see if we can get to 99%. Like if we can get to 99%, that would be awesome. Right now, what we'll do is we'll just hit tab, or no, escape, and we're going to see here. Okay, so cresting frames, we have to do a bunch more of those. The crestings, we have to do a bunch more of those. I'm not even sure what that is, so I got to look at that. But we've done some panels and some trim. The inner platforms, we did all that. We got to do one more pole base. And we've done all the pole toppers. So the base is the bottom of those things. We can do that. We can probably find that. We've got to do a couple more of the ceiling frames, which I know we got to do. Uh, and then like the pole toppers, we got to hit some of that. And the horse rods. We haven't cleaned any of the horse rods. So that's the base. So right now I just kind of like move my, okay, this horse rod. We got to clean more of that. You can see kind of where they're dirty. And it's a lot of these like, oh, we can clean that. Yeah, we hit that. We hit the ceiling frame. So that's what a lot of this is now, is just like go in there, try to clean this stuff up. Uh, 25, so energy existed. I love that. Said, used to not sleep much at cons. Or like PAX a couple times, like PAX East a couple times was like during daylight savings changeover, so we lost an hour because it was the spring forward, and like losing an hour during a convention is just like feels criminal to me. It's like that's not fair. I shouldn't be losing time. But yeah, I mean, like as I got older and I was at cons, it was easy to stay up all night or get up really early because I wanted to go see a thing or I wanted to go see some people, or like hey, it's only a 40-minute walk, so I'll just walk and save myself $6. And just like, yeah, I'm going to walk 40 minutes to the convention center. It's not like I'll be on my feet all day. Thinking sometimes. Oh, these are the crest panels. Okay, so these are the crest panels here, which I still have plenty to clean. And I'll have to get up on a ladder at some point to get up there because I'm sure there's stuff I'm missing from looking at it from underneath. Yeah, I can see some of that there. So more to do. Trying to get to 99%. I think that would be a cool stopping spot here. Let's see. Don't listen to Rob Zachy. I know the bar isn't just one square over. Yes, also knowing where you need to go. Uh, that's always a good thing to know is You also have to know where the places are that you want to go meet people because you can't. Don't waste your energy wandering around trying to find a place. Know where you have to go because otherwise you're just going to get stuck and tired. And I don't recommend being stuck and tired. It's a bad feeling. Yeah, we're just doing some cleanup here. Hitting the tab, seeing what needs to get cleaned, if there's anything. I guess we can run this. Oh yeah, we can also run. It's not a great run, but we can. Yeah, if we move this over like, oh yeah, and you can rotate with the mouse. We can move this here, place that there, and then climb up. Boom. Then we can see, oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff that needs to get cleaned here. And we can just go and spray it, and we can power spray it, because that'll be nice and fast, because it's not a huge, wide area. Just do that. And get the stuff we couldn't see from below, but we can see from above. And then we're getting big progress. So we hit 99%. It's good you don't have to clean the entire carnival. Yes, we're just cleaning one thing. And this is enough because this is a big open thing. But I like it. It's got a lot of nooks and crannies and it's got some different stuff. Cleaning the horses is new. That's a thing I haven't done before. So that was kind of fun to just be like, oh yeah, okay. Oh, there's a little bit left here somewhere. There it is. Got that done. Great. We hit 99%, but let's do a little bit up here. Really what I need to do is move this around to that section, but I can get a lot of this from over here. I might as well do what I can. Down. Crouch there a little bit. Because we're shooting like in between the bars. Oops. Oh, now we're up here. we jumped. I didn't want to jump onto the roof, but I totally did. We can just pop down there and of course take no damage. No fall damage, thankfully. That would be rude if there was fall damage in this, but maybe I guess there. Quality games, says Shax. Yes. This has been fun. This, I think, like I said, I believe this is the 0.5 update. So there's certainly going to be more. And the fact that it has music in this level is pretty fun, and it moves around. And they do move up and down. We can clean it as they go by. Don't move that much, but move a little bit, and I appreciate that. Oh, we cleaned the pole base button, and then we can just press F again and stop that. I hope there's more big red buttons in levels, because that is a fun element. But if this is the only one that has that, that's also kind of neat. I want to, why do you hand lots of dots? What is going on? Oh, you're wearing gloves, right? Oh, yeah. Yes, I'm wearing a glove. I'm equipped gloves. I believe that is the only thing I own for, let's see. Let's see. Clothing. I could buy different gloves. Gloves or the $100 gloves. I do like these pink gloves. I also like those. I think we're gonna buy these pink gloves. They're $200. That seems reasonable. Um, and then yeah, I bought this mod to make it look like that because I thought that looked kind of, I don't know, little Iron Man-ish, and I thought that was neat. But yeah, and then we can hit I for clothing. Oops, I don't know to do it. Clothing. And then we can select gloves. Now we got cool gloves. Now we got those black gloves. And you can see the dots there. I have owned a pair very similar to those, so that's fun. Although it is weird that they have the symbol on the side of the hands you can't see because it's not going to work with this at all. And that is gonna do it for the stream. I'm gonna exit out of this game here, save my progress. We are gonna raid. That is a thing that we do here on the old Bill with Bear. Because yeah, I'm 99% done with that, so I just gotta go around, finish up the sections. I'll get the list of things I need to do, and I'll do that on my own dang time. But we are going to raid. That is what we do here at the end of every stream. Oh, I'm also having dropping frames. So hopefully we'll pop back and it won't be as bad. But this is probably the perfect time to go raid because I am dropping frames. People watching this on YouTube later, what's up YouTube? Don't have that problem. But people watching the stream are probably like, oh, you're Pat, you're breaking up. So we are going to raid, which will be good because that has not gotten better. Um, so we will go on a raid in a moment. I'm just going to find who is doing cool stuff here. But yeah, my connection has gotten bad. So sorry to people watching live, but we're gonna go raid here in a second. We'll go find somebody cool to go hang out with. Oh, my connection is back to normal, so that's good. Who was doing stuff? Ooh, Joe Kim is playing Lake. We're gonna go raid Joe Kim. And I haven't seen anything of Lake, so that'll be fun. We talked about that on stream a little bit. So that's cool. But we're gonna go give Joe Kim a raid. Joe is fantastic, A+ person, and like I said, I have not seen anything of Lake. I've heard people talk about it, so I'm excited to check that out. So we're gonna go get Joe a raid again. I'll be back tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern for my streams. Model kit building, working on the H2 Magnum Master Grade. It's a really solid kit. I'm working on the arms of that kit now. So come hang out with me tomorrow. Appreciate that. My headphones are falling off my head, which is not professional. But we're gonna come along on this raid with me as we hang out as Joe is playing. I appreciate you being here. I hope to see you on the next stream tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. And let's go on this raid. Good night, everybody. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.